Students in the middle years have a lot of issues. They're new to high school, they're just hitting puberty. They're not children anymore, but lack judgment and experience. There are scary problems that happen to a few unlucky students. People worry a lot about these problems. The problem I'm talking about isn't fashionable. It's not rare. It's not malicious. It's something that students and teachers can control, and it's very, very familiar. It's an innocent problem that people don't worry about. It's boredom and disengagement. According to one study, 35% of students are disengaged during seat work. If almost half a class was missing, you can bet the school would intervene. But if half the students are just drifting off, that's just an average Friday afternoon maths class. Slowly but surely, students are sleepwalking into dangerous territory. They stop paying attention. They no longer understand the lesson. The class stops making sense. And when the class stops making sense, everything is going to be boring. Students perform well when they're in a flow state. They need to be challenged, but not too much. If they don't think they can understand the class, they might not bother trying. Peers may not have this personal and social capability to overcome this. They still need to learn good judgment. By 15, students have plenty of cognitive skills, but they lack good judgment. They need good peers and role models to learn from. For example, their teachers. I spoke to a teacher in a public school in New South Wales to find out how teachers can prevent boredom. He said teachers can mitigate it by digressions, tangents, showmanship. Passion and enthusiasm matter, not just because it's less boring, but because it lets the students know that the subject is important. If the teacher cares about a topic, it's sending a pretty clear message to students. Teachers can make it relevant. They can do maths in the oval, not just in the classroom. Making it more relevant can help students get into a flow state. Lesson planning is important. Teachers try to grab the students' attention at the start of class to get as many of them engaged as possible. They plan new activities throughout the lesson so that students who've dropped off can be brought back in. But they can't have too many transitions or it'll make it hard for students to settle. This all takes judgment, something that teachers may take some time to learn. If teachers know what they should be doing, why don't they just do it? Well, there's a huge curriculum. Sometimes teachers don't have time to make the class interesting, or they won't get through all the topics. Then there's meetings, paperwork, and a lack of support that can eat into lesson planning time. Some teachers need mentoring, but the senior teachers have more meetings, more paperwork, and their own workloads. And some teachers may become disengaged by the system. I spoke to a teacher in a Catholic school in Queensland. They said that students don't have time to be bored. There were sports clubs, chess clubs, computer games clubs, music groups, drama, events. There was also a lot of pastoral support, a buddy system, homeroom teachers, positive reinforcement for students who behaved well. This whole school approach matters. Students with good relationships with teachers will be more engaged. Buddy systems work. Having specific people responsible for student welfare works. There's good evidence for this. It reduces anxiety, lets them blow off steam, and helps them find a sense of belonging and well-being. That means they'll be more relaxed in class. This can help break the emotional component of the cycle. Students feel good, so they'll make an effort to understand the class. Finally, I spoke to a teacher in a special school that teaches at-risk middle school students. They had a special program that offered individualized negotiated support plans. They had small class sizes that were able to align content to personal interests. They had positive behavior support and worked to ensure the students' well-being, both social and academic. And of course they had support staff. All this works great. A lot of resources. Students can be kept engaged, but it takes a lot of work. And there needs to be an effort to target the students who are becoming bored and disengaged before the vicious cycle starts. Boredom doesn't seem like a big problem, but it is. And it's one that students and teachers often face with little support.